Welcome to the deep dive. Today our mission is to pull apart one of the most unexpected success stories in recent publishing, the crime thriller Stone Maidens.
This is a fascinating stack of sources to go through. We're not just analyzing the plot. We're really deep diving into the book's, its structural DNA, its reception, the good and the bad.
Right.
And most importantly, the incredible, completely improbable lightning bolt of success that hit it in 2023.
And that's really the hook, isn't it? This is a book that the author, Lloyd Devereux Richards, worked on for a staggering 14 years.
14 years.
It was published quietly back in 2012, and then it just sat there. Almost no sales. Then, boom, over a decade later, it hits #1 on Amazon worldwide.
It's a perfect case study. I mean, you've got the story of persistence on one hand, and then this completely unpredictable cultural moment that gave it a second life.
So let's start there. Let's unpack the story itself. We're in Indiana in the USA, and the setting plays a huge role in the whole atmosphere.
A huge role. The main character is FBI forensic anthropologist Christine Prusik.
And the setting. Those isolated forest ravines. It's not just a pretty backdrop.
No, it's practically a character itself. The core crime is dark. I mean, really atmospheric. A series of brutal murders where the victims are strangled.
But the killer leaves a calling card. And this is what elevates it beyond, a simple murder case.
Absolutely. The unique signature is what gives the book its title, its whole complexity. The sources all highlight that the killer's markings connect directly to Native American folklore.
Specific ancient rituals.
Yeah, exactly. It's this very unusual collision of highly modern forensic science and something ancient, something really eerie.
And that raises the personal stakes for the main character, for Christine.
It does, because she's not just running down clues. The narrative weaves her own past trauma into the fabric of the case. It suggests that maybe only someone with her specific history can really understand the darkness she's up against.
Okay, and this is where it gets its serious credibility, especially if you're a fan of crime procedurals.
Oh, for sure.
The author, Lloyd Devereux Richards, spent over 40 years working in law and investigations. This isn't just theory for him.
That's the book's biggest asset, structurally speaking, is his lived experience on the page. And that leads us to the question of genre. When we call this a procedural, what we mean is that this is not about, spectacular movie-style action sequences.
So the focus is on the grind, the actual work?
Precisely. For a true procedural fan, that authenticity is gold. The crime scenes feel real, the timelines for getting evidence back are accurate, the forensic explanations they're just grounded in reality.
He knows how it actually works.
He knows it's slow, methodical, full of dead ends.
So we have this very grounded, realistic foundation, but it's wrapped in this mystery with ancient symbols. How does Christine Prusik fit into that?
She's the anchor for it all. She's written as strong, mentally tough, highly competent in her field. She feels like a genuine investigator, not a superhero who has these, huge leaps of deduction.
She gets there through painstaking effort.
Exactly. Which totally grounds the book's slow burn approach.
It sounds like the kind of thriller where, with that slow build, the payoff really has to stick the landing.
It does. And our sources confirmed the final reveal works because it ties everything together. The procedural elements, the forensic evidence, it all connects with the ritualistic behavior and, just as importantly, with Christine's internal journey.
Okay, so for writers coming to this book now, after all the viral success, it's probably vital to set expectations about the writing style.
Yes, this is a very important point.
Because it sounds like it's pretty different from current trends.
It is. Because Richards worked on it for so long, across those 14 years, the writing style can feel, for some it feels traditional, or even dense when you compare it to the rapid-fire thrillers that dominate the market today.
So if you're used to short, punchy chapters, constant cliffhangers, this might feel a little different.
Absolutely. The first area of friction our sources cite is just the speed. It's not an action-heavy thriller. It's a patient mystery. It takes time to build momentum.
And then there's the complexity of the mystery itself.
That's the second friction point. If you're expecting a standard whodunit, the intense focus on the Native American symbolism can feel, complex, maybe even confusing at times.
I saw notes about the perspective shifts, too.
Correct. The book uses multiple perspectives, including these short, very disturbing chapters from the killer's point of view.
Which is meant to build tension.
Right, and give insight into the pathology. But some readers felt those interruptions kind of fractured the immersion in Christine's narrative.
So if we synthesize this, the perceived weaknesses, the slow pacing, the complexity, those are actually the very things that would appeal to a certain kind of reader.
Exactly. The reader who enjoys that traditional, detail-oriented, old-school mystery vibe, it's a preference for process over spectacle.
All of this background is so vital because it just perfectly sets up the phenomenal twist in the book's own history.
It really does.
You have this detailed, slow-burn procedural. It sits unnoticed for a decade, then 2023. Walk us through how that happened.
The shift was instantaneous, and it was driven entirely by this organic, heart-led social media moment. In 2023, the author's daughter posted a 60-second video on TikTok.
And it wasn't a marketing pitch about the plot.
Not at all. It focused purely on the human element. She told the story of persistence. She explained that her dad had worked on this book for 14 years, poured his whole life into it, and saw almost no recognition.
And she just asked people to give it a chance.
That's it. And that taps into something really deep, doesn't it? This cultural appreciation for rewarding, quiet, unrecognized labor.
It's the story of the craftsman finally getting his due.
Absolutely. The success was fueled by that emotional narrative. People weren't just buying a book, they were investing in the author's 14-year commitment. The video just exploded, millions of views in a matter of days.
And the result was immediate. How fast did the sales pick up?
I mean, it was breathtaking. Within days, the book jumped from total obscurity to #1 on Amazon's overall chart. Globally. It transformed Richards overnight from this dedicated but unrecognized author into a massive publishing success story, all based on the power of emotional digital storytelling.
It's just a fantastic example of a narrative outside the pages driving literary success. It really validates that dedication.
It proves that a genuine human connection can cut through all the noise of traditional marketing. The author, after all those years, he became a cultural favorite because his story just resonated so deeply.
So to wrap this up for you, the listener, what is the final synthesis? Is Stone Maidens worth the deep dive?
I'd say Stone Maidens is a dark, atmospheric, and incredibly forensic-rich thriller. It has a patient, old-school mystery vibe.
So who is this for?
If you're a reader who enjoys those slow, layered crime investigations, if you appreciate complex serial killer psychology mixed with folklore and suspense, this book is specifically for you.
And conversely, if you want high-octane action, simplified plots, and immediate payoff.
You might find the dense, methodical style to be a bit of a challenge. It's about knowing what you're looking for. But the story behind the success is universal. It's the reward of perseverance.
And that leads us to our final thought for you to chew on. The fact that a deep dive, detailed procedural written over 14 years could suddenly find massive global success because of a 60-second video. It raises a really important question about literary discovery. Does this signal that there are other complex, dedicated, slow-burn works of passion just waiting out there in obscurity? And what role does modern, emotional, and authentic digital storytelling play in unearthing classic-style literature? Food for thought. We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.